What's going on, guys?
We back.
We back at it with game 3 of the Quest for Atlantis tournament. Whew, so far
So good, I think.
it's been a roller coaster.
Of emotions. I'm sticking to my game plan. Yes, submarining.
Solid plan, I say.
Solid plan. I got 1 point of 2 games, so I'm doing well.
Gee, it's still,
1 solid point though.
it's a solid fucking point, man.
Yeah.
Oh, always forget to press this button. And I lost my first game, but still managed to get 5 points. Won my second game with 19 points. I was hoping to submarine a bit further.
But your submarine days are over.
I'm back facing legit players now, man. With 24 points, I'm gonna face someone who's done a decent job. This opponent right here, he said he actually got 2 wins, but small wins. So he got like a 13 and a 12 or something like that. And you know what?
Please
you,
do tell.
do you remember that motherfucker? The Empire player, Demon playing looking motherfucker who fucked you up, then he fucked me up?
Yeah.
This is his friend.
Oh.
No.
Are you telling lies?
I might be mixing people up here, but I don't know. Anyways, let's see who it is. Who the fuck is blowing this horn?
Who is it?
Okay.
Quick fade out.
I know who it is.
You do too, since you read the title of the video.
Gee, that's right.
Cheaters.
Fucking beasters, man. They're strong as fuck, dude.
Yeah, but they're a fun army to play. To be honest, I don't think I ever played against a Beasters player.
You haven't?
No, I faced you in the what's it called on the computer?
Oh, Universal Battle.
Yeah, I faced you in the Universal Battle, but not on tabletop. No.
And I'll tell you this, like current rankings of the top players in the UK meta. They did a ranking, and then after the ATC they did another ranking based on ATC results.
Yeah.
In both of them, beast herds were like, they didn't do a ranking per army. They did like tiers, like S tier, A, B, C.
All right.
In both of them, beast herds were one of the best armies.
Yeah.
They performed really well at the ETC. They're really good at scoring, and they have a couple of things that's just, they are so good for their points.
Like totems and.
Greater Totems is a big villain there. Centaurs is a big villain. He has 2 Greater Totems bearers, as you should have, and he has a shit ton of Centaurs, as you should have. He probably had, I don't know if, you can't have too many Centaurs, and he has, what? Oh, that he had.
As much as you could.
So basically, seeing his list, I'm like, okay, I know, at least there's no pyromancy or shooting, so that's off the table. What do I have to worry about instead? I have to worry about a shit ton of fast combat unit, a shit ton of ambushing shit behind my lines. They're just everywhere like fucking bugs. I was like, just bring some. Couldn't you just have pyromancy and chill with the ambushing or something?
Yeah, because basically, so I get it right. You play Centaurs like kamikaze pilots, right? Yeah. Sending them in.
You can. You can play them in a couple of different ways. I have only played Centaurs like they are cheaper than my Shaft. They're like maybe 160 points, but you can do it so that they have 3 attacks each, strength 5 on the charge.
Oh, that's nice.
With initiative 4, and with totems where you can cast every spell twice. You can give them D3 plus 1 extra charge range and plus 3 initiative.
So it's true. Oh.
Initiative 7, you can cast that twice. You can give them 1 extra attack and 2 extra armor piercing, or you can give them hard target distracting or magic rest. I don't know.
Something.
I don't know. I don't remember if they had 2 attacks and 3 with the spell, or 3 attacks and 4 with the spell.
Can they have frenzy?
They don't have frenzy, no.
No, they have thunder charge. No, so I think it's 2 attacks and 3 with the spell.
Okay, but they have paired weapons, so then it's 1 attack base, 2 with paired weapons, 3 with spell.
Probably. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Paired weapon, thunder charge. That makes sense.
Alright. So I play them like either I can use them as chaff, or like anti-chaff, or just charge like in small targets, just charge them in and blow shit up and survive. Or if it's a bigger unit, just charge in and do more damage than you're worth and die. Like charge in, give them an initiative buff, kill a bunch of elves, die. You still killed twice what you're worth.
Exactly, and do the same with the next unit and the unit after that, and that unit is not viable.
Just crash on them like waves.
Waves of hairy death.
But what he did, let's skip the tiptoeing and go through his list.
We should.
Okay, this one hacked up again. Let's see. Come on. Work with me, dog. Work with me. So this is 2 units of 20 wild horns. That's ambushing, so they're not here.
Alright.
Both of them have throwing weapons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has Banner of Discipline, so it can't panic.
Oh, nice.
Or it might have been the gleaming icon, so it rerolls 1 test. And remember, all the beast herds have army-wide special rule rerolls to fucking hit for some fucking reason. Like
they have to take a leadership test, right?
Yeah, they have to take a leadership test, and then they turn into 8th edition elves, motherfucker. Yeah, okay, so there's some blurry pictures. I don't know, can I go through this, or is it going to be a better one? Doesn't look like
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
here. So here it's like it's 5 centaurs with a centaur character.
Okay.
I'm starting to the left. Skip the ambushing units. So the centaur character has basically a spear that he can throw like a bolt thrower. Strength 6, D3 wounds, armor piercing. Always hits on a 3, never less than 3.
What?
Regardless of any modifiers at all.
Okay.
Also ignoring hard target, distracting, and stuff like that.
Of course.
And that spear, like, he probably has a line on it, because if he throws it, he can, like, just wheel it back in
and throw it again.
And use it in combat with strength 7. Just so you know.
Yeah.
And next to them is a unit of 20 centaurs.
What?
Yeah, that's not all of them. Like, he has another square of them, but they are in the back. But so there are more centaurs there in that unit. It's 20 centaurs with another centaur character. That character is more normal, like no throwing.
Alright, but 20 is alright.
So that's a big unit of centaurs.
Yeah.
I haven't used them like that, but I've seen ETC list that too. So it probably works, but I don't really. It works. It works.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. And then we can go to this picture here. Then. So that's a big unit to the left. That's a big unit, like 40, 35, 40 longhorns. So not the core version. So their weapon skill 4, strength 4 with halberds, so strength 5.
Alright.
Blah 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 blah. He has a BSB in there with, I don't remember what he had. It might have been the ban. They have a banner, 1 use only, that gives +1 strength. Might have been that, but I don't remember. Then there's another unit of centaurs, 5 of them. And yeah, also interesting thing about these, it's gonna sound like I'm complaining about the Beasters book, but I actually think it's really fun. I played it myself, really enjoyed it, and they have a lot of cool rules, but they are strong. They are a really fun army, and I enjoyed playing against my opponent very much. So when I trash talk the book, take it with a grain of salt.
Alright.
Um, fucking hell, can
You haven't explained
You-
all the units yet.
the two centaur character I mentioned.
Yeah?
Basically, when you have a unit of centaurs, you can choose if you want them to be sober or drunk.
Yeah,
Alright?
yeah, and the centaur characters, you can start out as sober then turn drunk, right?
Exactly. So what you do, like if you're sober, you have Vanguard light troops, but you don't have Thunder Charge or Immune to Psychology.
Alright.
If you're drunk, you have you lose Vanguard and light troops,
Mm-hmm.
but you have Thunder Charge. What the characters can do, they have booze, and they can pass it around to the unit, have some booze, and turn sober units to drunk. So basically, you start light, you Vanguard up, use your light troops, and before you combat, you drink the booze, you lose the light troops, but now you're Thunder Charge.
Can you do it before you charge? Or you have to do it the turn before?
Before you charge, you can do it.
Oh, that's great.
At the beginning of the turn, you just I'll drink, and I'll charge.
Jeez.
I think that's how it works. We'll see if it comes in play or not, but I think that's how it works. I'm not sure.
That explains the huge units.
So, like that unit gonna start out sober, but can drink if they want to. Last unit I didn't go through. Here he has his general is basically my general.
Mm-hmm.
1 up, 4 up, Bluffers. He has toughness 5 though.
Alright.
So really similar there. It's a solid build. He has them in a unit with 3 chariots.
Okay.
So that's cool. So it's really hard. Like all beasts are really hard in close combat. They are fast, and everything you see in front of me, he's gonna have 2 units of 20 ambushers coming up behind me. That's a pig. That's chaffing. 3 wolves, toughness 5. Can run around and chaff. He has another pig. You see there by the coffee cup in the blur picture in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's another pig.
Alright.
So, do we have a good overview? No. Okay. Let's keep it like so. What are your predictions?
First of all, we should go through the deployment and the scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a good overview. Deployment was secure target. So the way the new secure target works, is you have on a deployment of 18 inches, you push the opponent's deployment line back 20 inches from your unit, and you're only like 16 inches apart, so you push them back 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You go back and forth for 5 units, then you can drop everything if you want, or several units if you want. The first 5 you go back and forth. The objective here was gold diggers, so there are 3 coins on the table, which you can see, and scoring units can pick them up, and the one that has most gold coins at the end of the game wins.
Alright. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Should I go over my deployment? No, you see my deployment, you make a prediction beforehand, and then I'll go over what I'm gonna do with this madness.
Let's see. Research, strong army, somewhat of a ETC list. I don't know who the player is though, so I'm gonna give you a 12-8.
12-8. Alright, let's see. So my deployment, or the deployment, went back and forth. I think I got to choose side. So I chose the right side basically just so I knew he was gonna come to me, and so when he moves up a bit I can force him, then he will come out in the open and I can shoot, rather than, yeah, I just felt this was I had the opportunity to be a little bit more out in the open, and I didn't have to split up my army with the impassable, and I was like, split them up, or and then he comes behind with amber. I don't know. I just picked the right side. So he chooses that I start to deploy. So I start deploying a unit of this picture is after Vanguards, by the way. So I start deploying the Reaver unit closest to us, but as far up as possible.
Alright.
So I push him back,
Mm-hmm.
and here I think he didn't play any good, because he placed, after that he placed a center unit in front of them, next to the impossible, instead of taking the chance to push me back on the other side or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I place another unit of Reavers on the other side, like the further side away from us, just to push him back if he wants to deploy there.
Smart move.
Obviously I want him as far away as possible, because I have range threat, he doesn't. And what he does then, he places like another unit of centaurs. I think then we go back and forth on the Reavers, and when I start deploying bolt throwers one by one, basically I'm like, I want to see where he goes. I'm not gonna try to go for first turn.
No need.
No, I'm lying. We went back and forth, and even though he had some more small drops, like he saved some, like one pig, he saved some small stuff, and he dropped his big longhorn unit, alright? And he dropped his big centaur unit over here. You see them, they are on the flank closer to us. So even though we only dropped like 4 drop each, he dropped those 2. So then I knew, okay, I can drop now, get first turn, and he still can't like counter deploy his entire army in front of me, because those are over here. So I dropped my entire army on the other flank, so I know I'm far away from these 2. He can place other things closer to me. And so he places his general and his chariots closer to me. But those 2 other big combat threats are further away. So I get first turn, and we start up like so. This is after Vanguard, before movement. So I'm gonna move up a bit. These knights are gonna move onto the objective, pick it up, and
Thinking you pick it up and going back to your line.
you can't, because when you pick it up, if you doesn't have 3 ranks, I can't march.
Alright.
So I move onto it and I stick there. I was like a little bit unsure on the rules, and then I can't march, what can I do? And I just stuck there. But that was a bad move, because that big monstrous thing in the middle of the table, in the upper middle, looks like a piece of impossible. Maybe my subconscious thought it was impossible, but that's a hill.
Yeah, of course, it's a hill.
It looks like a fucking dick.
Swole.
But basically his centaurs can see me and charge me pretty easily. That's my first mistake. Start up, like in game 2 I did a mistake with the knights. In game 3 I did a mistake with the knights. In the first turn. So I just move up. I just want that fucking coin. Oh, I thought I could. When I realized this, I was like, I can just flee and keep the coin. But when you flee, you lose the coin.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of my army moves up like so, pretty aggressively. So what I do is, basically, my priority is that there's a coin here. I want to pick it up. And he doesn't have a lot of. He has a strong as fuck threat on this side, but he doesn't have a lot of different threats.
Alright.
So I just chaff the Chariot unit, move up pretty aggressively. I'm thinking here that he is gonna back up, wait for help. But I'm just chaffing so he can't charge one of my units and blow it up. And I'm not thinking that he's gonna charge the chaff and leave me with the counter charge. And blurry picture here.
Very blurry.
Shows the same thing. Another blurry picture here.
Quick picks.
Yeah, this is just a close up of the chaff. Now we're going to his turn 1. So he charged the knights. I'm like, fuck, why didn't I see that? I just flee with the coin. Fuck, why did I just flee with the coin? I don't have the coin anymore. What should I have done instead? I had to flee, because if I stayed, he would just have killed me and get the coin. So it was a good thing I fled. That was how my mind was going. So back to square 1 with the knights. But at least they didn't catch me. It was pretty far away. And yeah, so my knights end up over here. Lose 1 to dangerous terrain. He charges me here, and as you can see here, like first I don't think he thought of, like he charged the Reavers, and first when he closes the gap, he closes. You see the way he's positioned and how I am positioned.
Mm-hmm.
He closes the gap, so my Reaver unit is touching, is in contact with the middle of his unit.
Alright.
So I don't know if I can explain this visually. Like, so he doesn't come much close. His flank doesn't come much closer to me, and I say to him, you when you close the gap, like there's so short distance and you can't pivot. You have to wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So the corner to the right needs to stay in the same place. When you wheel as far as possible, then you close the gap. So my left corner of the Reavers isn't gonna be in your middle line.
No.
It's gonna be you're gonna be in contact with me with your two Chariots to the right. My left corner on the Reavers is gonna be in the middle of those two Chariots on the right.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then probably they will too. So the only reason I was really picky about this was because that makes it so he's a little bit closer to me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And of course when he kills them he can reform, but he has to keep the center the same, so it's a little bit closer. So when he charges here, that's how it's supposed to be, and he can reform. And like I think when I showed him the way he ended up, like this is how you have to stand, I think that's probably when he thought, why did I do that charge and see my other units.
But what choice did he have? He couldn't move away from it, could he?
No. He could. He had to back up, move to the left, and rush with the other stuff. Try to.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's exposed now.
Basically, he was in a bad spot.
He was in a bad spot.
He was in a bad spot, and still, like, I think it was clever of me to push up, see the opportunity and push up aggressively here.
Mm-hmm.
And it put him in a tough spot. Also, I forgot to mention, my shooting magic, I killed the pig to the right.
Alright.
And he had Dark Rain, so all my shooting had 2- because I took first turn, so I didn't do much else.
Alright.
And here moves up aggressively, like so, with the rest of his army. He kills Reavers and reforms, so this is how it looks. So those are the dead Reavers right there.
Mm-hmm.
The hill, we just moved it because it was so annoying, but it's not standing vertically, it's diagonally, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's like the previous picture.
Yeah. So basically, we haven't talked about. I haven't said, I got a counter charge or something like that. So I don't know if he knows what I'm thinking, and he doesn't know if what I'm thinking. So in his magic phase, he casts a totem on these guys, like extra charge range.
Sure.
I'm like, there you go. He casts like another totem on something else. Because I know I have an opportunity. This is a hard matchup, and I can get these points. I don't want him to give them crazy buffs and fuck something up.
No.
Like,
true that.
Like one of my Chariot fails to charge, the white lines make it in, he has higher initiative, he kills a bunch, blah blah. Something stupid.
None of that.
Not gonna happen. I'm saving everything, so in the end he tries to buff these guys up. I stop it. And going into my turn. Here, if I can give myself a pat on the back.
Alright.
I also think I was pretty clever, because
you tend to do.
I tend to fucking do. But let's see if you agree, or if you would have done the same. In hindsight, it's easy to be smart, but in the moment, first I was like just thinking, okay, everything's gonna charge. I'm gonna kill him. Then I was like, okay, wait, what happens? Like, he probably realizes this is a very bad spot.
Yeah.
What would he do? What would I do? Like, would I flee? From what unit would I flee? What would I do? So basically, I decide to I think for like a minute, and I'm like, I charge with the Chariot to the left. He thinks for like a minute. because this is a big decision. Like,
Yeah, it's huge.
and he's like, I'm gonna hold. I think for like a minute. I'm gonna charge with the White Lions too. He thinks for like a minute. I'm gonna hold. I'm like, yes. I'm not gonna charge with the last prince. He's like, fuck, I was gonna flee. And then we started laughing because he was like, yeah, very. Then I said what I was thinking, and he said what he was thinking,
Right.
and he was like, because he is about, let's say it was 10 inches from the table edge.
Alright.
I don't know if it was exactly 10 inches, but the basic math and how I was thinking was that if I charge, if he flees from these guys, he can either roll really high, run off the board, or he rolls low and he's gonna remain in charge range from my right chariot, and he can push them off the board.
Yeah.
But if he flees from my rightmost chariot,
He will be behind the hill.
yeah, he's gonna run like diagonally to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's much harder for him to run off the board,
Mm-hmm.
but he still gets further away from my other unit, so it's harder to catch him, and he rolls high, he's behind the hill. So, bigger chance for me to kill him if I charge the third chariot in, and also like one of these guys can fail charge. It's not really long charges. I think my White Lions needed like a 7, and my Prince needed like 7 maybe or something like that. But I can fail them. And if I do, I might not break them. So of course it would have been much nicer. The chariot to the right is the one that is closest.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most secure charge. But so I was like, I was thinking you will probably flee from that charge. So, and I didn't want to risk you getting away, so I'm just doing these two. And he was like, I was just waiting for that charge. I was definitely gonna flee from it. I don't want this fight. So he was like, well played. I was like, namaste.
Namaste.
Uh,
Alright. So
yeah,
good
but
start.
I was proud of myself for not declaring that charge. Would you have done the same?
To be honest, in the heat of the moment, seeing the opportunity which presented itself with that unit, I think I would have shot with the third chariot and fucked it up.
It's really easy to make. I was this close to do it.
That's why I lost my first 2 games.
I was gonna do it and was like, wait. What would I? And started like, it's really good to do it. So it worked out, and they both got in. Great.
I think that, by the way, on that, I think that's a problem, because I played Vampire Counts for so long, so I can't flee. So fleeing is not an option in my mind. That's not a valid tactic either. It's just standing there and taking the charges.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast where the guy is opposite. He played different armies and started playing Vampire Counts and Undying Dynasties. And he was like, for an entire tournament, he was like joking, but only he thought it was funny, because like every time somebody declared a charge, he was like, I'll flee. And they were like looking at him like, you can't. He was like, yeah, I know. The next charge, he's like, I'll flee. But anyways, the other chariot just move up to face the other threats. You see, you like my arrows, my editing skills?
Yeah, they are pretty helpful actually.
I forgot to take a picture in his turn 1. He had some kind of item or rule. I think it was because he had a special character. He can ambush on turn 1.
Alright.
So one of his ambusher unit came on, the other one rolled below 3.
Mm-hmm.
This was the one without the gleaming icon, so it can panic. And this is really good to keep in mind, because they are only leadership 7 without general, so that's like the only chance I have.
It's panicking in there.
Yeah, so in his turn 1 they come up there. So this is my turn 2. My archers reformed, backed up as much as possible, so I am without out of his minimum movement, so I can shoot and then stand and shoot.
Alright.
I reform the knights just because I don't know what's gonna happen here. And My one unit of Shaft joins my Chariot, starting to face the middle. It's my general. It can deal with entire blocks by himself, because these two, as long as I'm stopping the +2 armor piercing spell, I can hold one of these blocks up.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm trying to set something up here. Here, this was the furthest I could move, I think, with the Reavers, but I made sure they... I don't know if you can see it on the angle here, but I think they are shafting the knights. So these centaurs can't charge the knights. Yeah, he couldn't make that wheel, I think, if I remember correctly, or I'm just not shafting. Or I haven't moved yet, so I'm gonna move closer. One of those three options.
You're doing something at least.
I'm doing something with these guys. So shoot at them, they panic, run off the board.
Great.
Fucking great, thank you. And blow up. Basically, I kill all of his regular chariots. He automatic breaks on combat rest. Rolls really high, rolls a 10. My prince managed to catch him on a 10. It ended up pretty far away. My white lions failed to catch them. They sound like so. I had to... Fucking worth it. Whew, I'm like, okay, from being a 50-50 matchup, this looks like at least a small win. Let's not try to fuck it up or something like that. But I got the big problem out of the way. Now this is a little bit out of position, but I'm upping points. Don't know about the objective though, because since I saw the charge, I never grabbed the coin. You see, that hill is so high, I have to balance the unit on a Coke soda can. And yeah, it looks like so. Blurry pictures. My mage in the spearman unit is more moving towards the coin instead.
Alright.
Oh no, I'm shafting him.
Now you're shafting.
No, I'm shafting him. So his turn 2.
Oh, that's terrible first turn.
Yes, it was. So here his centaur unit behind him see my Reavers, so they charge the Reavers instead of the big centaur unit.
Yeah.
And the big centaur unit is still light troops, so even though I stand like so, he
maneuvers a bit
around me, so that now you see the back of that unit ends up like so, and moves up the rest of the army. And I left a riddle for you guys here. Find one mistake.
Could it be the enormous unit in your background? No.
What's the mistake? Point out the mistake, if you can. I don't know if it's a mistake by me or if it's a mistake by him. I can say he missed it, I didn't.
Jesus. Now I feel like I'm a bad player. Fuck you.
No, maybe it's hard to see.
Alright, no, I'm not seeing it.
Alright. So moved up aggressively with the centaurs, and
oh, that he's not... he don't have any ranks in the woods.
Nope, he's beasters. He loves the woods. He has ranks, so he moved up aggressively with the longhorns. He has his ranks. Centaurs stay there.
Are you gonna shaft him with the bolt thrower?
Oh, you're really guessing now. You're gonna see it in 2 pictures. You're gonna see it.
I'm trying my best.
That's always an option. I love shafting with bolt throwers. People are like, that's stupid. Alright, so this is just another overview. You ready for the mistake though?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the audience, I want you to guess as well. Leave a comment down below if you guessed it right or missed it. Oh, okay, it's not this picture, it's in the next picture. Oh, here you can see his other unit of ambushers.
Yeah.
He kind of panicked when he saw how it went and everything, so he took them on here from the side, basically planning just to grab that coin, and the longhorns to grab the coin in the middle, I guess. He's basically saying, I'm backpedaling here, let's grab the objective, grab the points we can, no more No
Going
more.
for the draw or something.
Something. So yeah, they're out of reach. And now, you ready for the mistake?
Yeah.
You see it now?
It's so unclear.
He left his centaurs in the arc of my prince, so I can charge that unit. He wanted to roll up my flank with his centaur, charge the knights, charge the archers, clearing points. Now I can charge them. Just shaft the longhorns, deal with the longhorns later. And the centaurs, they are really killing on the charge, but when they are not charging, I'm talking about the big centaur block
Yeah.
with the character.
Oh.
When they're not charging, they're not so dangerous for my general. They're not dangerous at all for my general, and they could have took the game back from me.
Can he choose to stop being light troops now? Or does it have to be in his turn?
I don't know why.
Because if it's light troops, he doesn't have any ranks, so he crits.
Yeah, he can, and he did.
Oh.
He can, and he did. Basically, yeah, he did. So now he's immune to psychology and thunderous charge. But so basically, he missed that, and that allows me to protect my entire army and secure those points. But even if I break them in a turn or 3, I'm gonna get them. And I have another Chariot Prince coming to help later. I have Shaft that can keep the Longhorns busy meanwhile. So I declare. Oh yeah. This is still in his turn. This was really funny. Like he did all of this movement, and we came to his magic phase,
Mm-hmm.
and he's thinking like he left a charge on his Longhorns
Alright.
on purpose. Like he knows he's in the front. He left that one on purpose, and he's buffing up the Longhorns. So he throws a buff on the Longhorns.
Mm-hmm.
I let it go. After I let it go, I was like, by the way, I noticed one thing. I want to check one thing because it looks like I think I see a thing I want to check, and I just want to know if you did it on purpose or not, because now it doesn't really matter because it's in magic. And I was like, yeah, sure. Then I brought out the angle and just checked, and I was like, yeah, I'm in angle. I was like, do you agree? And he was like, yeah, you can see them. It was pretty. It wasn't like 50-50. It was pretty clear.
Alright.
I was like, did you do that on purpose? He was like, no, I didn't. And like his magic dice was like, let's say it was 7 dices to 5.
Alright.
He cast like 3 dices on a, or like I don't know what it was, but he cast a buff on the Longhorns, and then I point this out. He's like 5 dices on the centaurs, like like a hard target distractor or something, like everything. I was like, okay, everything to stop them, because I saved my dice because I knew I wasn't gonna charge the Longhorns. So I saved my dice for the centaurs. So I stopped the spell. He was like, yeah, I missed that.
Poor guy.
And this is like his turn 2.
Oh Christ.
So 2 turns, 2 big mistakes. He kills the Reavers, reforms like so. My turn 3, charging, getting like so. His character there still have strength 7, but
Even not on the charge.
yes.
Wow.
But still, I think hitting on 4s with the reroll though. I'm still not really worried, because if we are in a challenge, no one else hits. I will kill that character and overkill. All impact hits goes on him, everything, and then I'm safe. Or if we're not in a challenge, he can strike.
Alright.
And I think it was only 3 attacks, and I have a 4 ward, Bluffer, or something. So I'm not really worried.
Oh. You should survive that.
And I don't issue I issue a challenge, and he takes it with the character. I kill him. He takes a steadfast test, fails, runs off the board.
Really?
Yes,
Christ.
fails the steadfast test. He's outside of range from the BSB, and he doesn't have a general. Fails, and one of their weaknesses is they don't have very high leadership.
No,
Um,
that's a trade-off.
yeah. So fails it, runs off the board, reform to face that chariot against the Longhorns. And you see my Reavers here. Before I did that charge, here I moved up the Reavers to shaft both. He moved his centaurs, so my Reavers are shafting both his centaurs to the right and the Longhorn block in the middle.
How sure were you that they were gonna run off the board? In the throw?
Not really sure. I was like not expecting it. It was basically a bonus, but I would have done this move in a heartbeat without it, because since I didn't know they were gonna run off the board, my Reavers had the Longhorns and the Centaur shaft, and my other Chariot and my White Lions are both gonna turn. And in his turn, he's gonna charge the shaft, and
Yeah.
then I can charge him.
Because you did not pursue him, right?
No, I didn't.
No, so.
Oh, you mean like that? How sure I was that he was gonna roll high enough to get off the board?
Yeah, exactly.
It was short. Like
It looked short, but it was like, all right, that's your center to center. That's pretty short.
so my center, like his center, is pretty a lot closer to us. So it's almost so like a 3 off the board,
All right, yeah.
something like that. I think it was like 3. Now I understand your questions. So I just reform. Both of his units are shaft. His turn 3, and you can tell by now. Basically, he did some other moves that showed that he was a good player.
Mhm.
He just did 2 big mistakes, like small mistakes that becomes huge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, small mistakes, which
Has
yes.
huge consequences.
the snowball effect, basically.
Yeah. So he was a good player, and it was really fun to play against. But you could tell by now he was like.
The butterfly effect is called, sorry, not snowball.
But you can tell by this point he was like, okay, this is lost. So he was like going through the motions, and not going like not taking too long, checking angles, and it was like, okay, let's just push, see what happens. Like if something random happens, we'll see.
We deal with it when it happens, sort of.
Yeah, like this game is lost anyways.
Mhm.
And because he was that, and he had like quote unquote bad luck, I didn't really wasn't like, oh, this angle, oh no, you can't really move like we eased up on the mode a bit.
All right.
I was like also pretty more laid back, so you can't really tell yet, but in like turn 5, 6 I was like whatever, like played a bit more like chill. But he charges here. He decided not to charge with the centaurs, and this is like a good the only thing he can do. Basically, what he's hoping for. This wasn't a mistake. I left it intentionally because the odds are really low. Like he charges here. I gave him the flank on purpose, so he was gonna face this way. If he chooses to overrun, he needs to roll a 12 to get into the White Lions.
Yeah, that's super far.
So I was like, he can take it, and then I get counter charge and Prince in the flank. So because if I move my Reavers more to the left or right, it was gonna be front instead of flanks, and so I was like, this is fine. And these guys just move a little bit, gets a buff up on this. I think it's distracting buff.
All right.
And I make sure to stop just in case, because we checked, I knew it was 12. I stopped the initiative buff just in case, because if he overruns 12 and has more initiative than White Lions,
You're gonna blow that unit up, definitely.
they are toast. So he gets through distracting, overruns 12.
Jesus.
And now I was like, fuck! because basically both of my chariots were angled towards him, but he overran so far, he are out of both of their arcs, so they can't come and help the White Lions. And this is bad. Like I did the math, and I was like, basically this unit does like 25 wounds on the white lions, fair and square. But that's before I strike. I strike before. If I roll good, like depending on how much I kill, he kills a bit less. He has the charge, rank, BSB. He could break this unit.
Alright.
But it's not guaranteed. But this is risky, and my Chariot can't help. I probably still got the win, but I don't want him to get all these points.
No.
And then I chase him around and stuff. So this goes into my turn. Like we're gonna fight this combat in my turn. So my turn 4. Just to add combat rest, I charge in the Spearman.
Yep.
And believe it or not, I'm still scared. Like if I roll really bad and he rolls really good and breaks them, I don't know. So this is probably a little bit overkill. I charge in the Spearman. Both of my princes are in his rear to charge in next turn if he holds. That was probably a little bit overkill. And I'm like, in the magic phase, I'm gonna just throw all the buffs in the fucking world, bubble them.
Bubble, distracting, everything you have.
I'm gonna save you guys. Yeah, my shooting kills all the centaurs apart from the character. In combat, yeah, I get through Stars Align, and I think I get through Drain Magic to remove his distracting. I think.
Do you still have Drain Magic?
It's when you take the Asfad Scholar Honor, it's a bounce spell.
Alright.
I get Stars Align at least, and I kill a shit ton. And this is before he gets to strike, so I'm feeling pretty good. I kill all of these guys. He still kills a fucking shit ton.
Jesus.
So even though I kill like 16 guys maybe, he still killed all of these. So I don't know, without buffs, even though I had spearmen in the flank, he might have broken me. But the way it ended up, I still won combat. And he broke. He flees from the spearman. I pursue with both units.
Of course.
I don't catch him, so he's up on the hill facing the other way. We're standing like so. So one of my chariots still sees him, the other one, I don't know. His turn 4. So now it's a few pictures. He rallies, I charge in with, and he moves around some stuff. My turn 5, I charge in with Spearman and Prince.
Alright.
This is after combat, so I kill all of these. I think they break and I pursue them. Here, reform my Prince. This is when I get a little bit sloppy with how I think, like, if I would have focused and like played really good and like checking everything, I might have been able to like secure the objective and stuff. Now I was like not really moving the white lions, like let's just finish this before the time.
Victory.
But like the time is running out.
Yeah,
Let's just finish this.
Yeah, it was getting late. I remember this.
Yeah, this is the last game of day 1. So he moves up like so. Those guys has a coin. I don't have any coin at the moment.
All right.
And we're standing like so. Don't really know whose turn this is. Yeah, these guys pursue and get those points.
You do have a coin though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a coin. He has a coin. So just right now we're drawing the objective. And we're standing like so. This is probably his turn. My turn. Here I don't really know what happened. I looked at this picture before and tried to figure it out. I don't remember. But what I think happened logically here, I should charge in. I have no fucking idea what happened. These guys charged in the flank somehow. Here they are in the front. So maybe if this is his turn and he charges like my white lions and I flee. You see where the coin is right now,
yeah.
And here the coin is behind them. So they somehow end up behind the coin. I don't remember, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is game ends like this. I remember I was trying to break them on steadfast, and they hold. Like if I broken them, I would have won the objective.
Mm-hmm.
But they hold, so we drew the objective.
All right.
So it was a 17-3. Like he got 3 points because we drew. So
Still, good game.
okay, my hindsight, then your hindsight, and then your game. So basically, going into this game, it was a real toss-up for me. I thought his list had a lot of potential, was really good. And it probably would have been like, I don't know, he had a very aggro list. Those tend to go for like big wings or big or small.
Mm-hmm.
If we are both really unsure, like I would have played really defensively if I didn't see any openings. So it could have been like a 10-10, or he charges in, and I have no idea. But it was those two mistakes. Like the first mistake secured me a small victory, and I could keep play defensively after that just to take a small win. His second mistake opened up enough for me to go for the big win.
Yeah.
And feel
After
pretty
you
good.
after you can't die,
Yeah.
there's basically not much left in his army, which pose any real threat to the entirety of your army. So-
Exactly. So after that, I could spread out and just try to grab points and go play offensively. So yeah, it was like not a lucky or unlucky game either way. It was just those two mistakes, but it was a really fun game. I hope you enjoyed it too. We talked a lot afterwards. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. As I said, the previous game, he did some major,
Mistakes?
mistakes. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you capitalized on them to maximum effect, which won you the game. So a very good game for you.
Thank you.
So good job.
All right, so this puts me. My submarining is definitely over with 5 points. I don't know, but from now on, I'm gonna play last two games. I'm probably gonna play good opponents. But still, my top goal was to end in the top 10. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident right now. I was like, okay, because in Lincoln I was not feeling very confident. Everybody was good as fuck. I felt really lusty. Here it feels like, yeah, I can maneuver. I get shit done.
Yeah, you keep the stride rolling for the last two games, and yeah, you can definitely place in top 10.
So I'm feeling good, and all the opponents I faced so far have been really fun to play against too. That's always really important. So I had a great day. How about your game 3?
I was as you know, I got 1 point out of 2 games, so I'm not feeling that good. So going into game 3,
So you're submarine. You're like a shark eating fish now.
yeah, eating rocks even. So going into game 3, I was hoping for an easy opponent, an easy list, like a fluffy list. Going up against Lizardman, sure, I know that he has basically the same point as me, the worst. So my guessing is, sure, he cannot be the best of players, but when I saw his list, he had like 10 Croxigors, a big unit of Saurian warriors, like the Toad Priest. He had a lot of bullshit. I was like, Jesus, please, not again. I don't want to lose every game. But yeah, the game ended up going very well for me, so I got a 20-0.
20-0.
Mm-hmm.
Is the submarine over, David? Going to the surface?
I'm not so sure. My sights are at least up to the aiming for surface, but yes, let's just say I dragged in quite a bit of water in my boat, so it might be hard to climb.
Leaking water. Not leaking when it goes in. What's that called?
No, I'm just filling up, straight up.
Trying to plug the holes.
Yeah, so my engines are pushing on maximum just to climb.
Standing like with a bucket. Yes.
Yeah, doing everything. But
Good game. 20 points. That's no joke.
No, and a great opponent also. He got
Oh, he won like Care Bear, right? No,
no that
no,
was
that's Sportsman. He won like.
third best painted army,
Oh yeah.
and he got the prize for being last in the tournament, like or condolences.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
console.
he got a blanket and but in the end he was a really cool guy, and I had a fun game also. So that
Alright.
was matters.
All right, day 1 is over. We aiming big game. Day 2. See you game 4.